setting up your system together. We believe that it is really important that parents work together as a team to raise their family, to build the type of home that they want. We don't think it's healthy for, one parent to be the driver and the other parent to kind of just be dragged along. You sounded like you had something to say there for a second.
No, not
No?
yet. Not yet.
Okay, good.
Did you want me to say something?
No, we're good.
No.
You're.
Well, yeah, I'll say something.
Okay.
So I will say this. I'm married to an incredible woman. Anyone who's met her knows. Anyone who's listened to her material knows. I'm not supposed to do that. Sorry. My apologies. My point is, what she has a strength of, a unique strength of really appreciating family, the value of family, and focusing on developing a lot of what you heard tonight. And it's very unique. So although what she was saying is that one parent, it's not, we don't recommend that one parent be like the parent and the other one kind of go along for the ride. The goal is to get you both on board. And she has much more of a natural fair.
I think that's going to be true in many families,
True,
right? That
yeah.
one spouse may have the more, either it's intuitive or maybe they've done more research or they're spending more time with the kids. So you're right. It's not, of course, it's not that you're going to have equal contributions of everything at every time, but to be able to get on the same page, to be able to have those conversations, to make decisions together. That's where we're trying to go. And that's where we want to help you get there. And how do you do that? It's a lot of talking. There's a lot of conversations that need to be had. And so we try to break down for you some of the conversations that we have had over the years, the conversations we continue to have. I don't mean this to sound overwhelming. And we're going to show you lots of questions to talk about. They're not all to happen at one time. They're not all to happen in 1 year. These are just the types of conversations you want to have to help you decide what is the type of family we want together, so that it reflects both of your deepest values and you're both 100% committed to making your family work for that. There are many things a husband and wife have to juggle in their family, and obviously these four are not it at all. But when it comes to values and priorities, you as an individual person have what's important to you in your life. And presumably when you became a young adult, before you got married, you thought about that. What are my values? What are my goals? What's important to me? Who am I? And then you got married and you had to then start having these conversations with your spouse. What is our marriage? What are the values of our marriage? What do we stand for as a married couple? And now that you have a family, there's another level of conversations that need to happen also. And they are, what are the values of our family? What do we stand for together? And I'll just give a quick example of each. And then, if you have any more to share, go ahead. For example, as an individual, I love teaching Torah. I love teaching scripture, the 5 books of Moses. That has nothing to do with, whether I was married or whether I'm a mother. That's something I had from the beginning. My husband loved woodworking, always. Well, that makes it sound. You had ideals and passions too. Let me back up. I won't talk for you. And then we got married and we started saying, what are the values of our marriage? And we do want to, share with you so that you get a glimpse of where we're, who we are and what we're doing here. And so I'm going to share with you some of the values of our marriage. Some of the core values of our marriage are that we want to always be emotionally available to each other. We want to be vulnerable to each other, and we want to be supportive of each other. So those are like marriage values. But then we had a family, and we needed to now discuss, what are our family's values? What does our family stand for? And we need that because that's going to help us make our decisions when we choose what types of activities we let our kids do, what type of home we're going to run, what type of vacations we're going to go on. It all comes back to our deepest values. And so these are the conversations you want to have to help figure out, what are your values as a family, so that you can then make decisions accordingly that fit your values.
So I think though that this part of the exercise is what, think of it as a funnel. These are kind of like the big ticket items that are the bedrock pillars of what you want to how you want to nurture your children, how you want to raise your children, the values you want to impart to them. It's like the constitution of your family. It's not the day-to-day nitty-gritty how decisions are made, but these are the things you keep coming back to. And we actually wrote it down.
And we're going to get up to that too in a future slide. And I think that's an important point. Thank you. That just because you have these values doesn't mean that that's what your day-to-day life is going to look at, because at any given time in a family's history, one or more of these juggling needs can be struggling, right? You individually could be having a hard time, one of your kids could be having a hard time, there could be financial health stress, there could be health stress, there could be so many things going on that shift the way you have to juggle your needs. It's not like you can all keep all the balls in the air at the same time, but it's still important to know what your values are, even if you're not able to actually live them the way you want to. So for example, one of the values that we have in our family is we want to have a warm, open home. And that's very important to us. So we invite guests over regularly. And on our, Shabbos meals, or the Sabbath meals, we have guests almost every meal, almost every week. However, there have been times that the needs of someone in our family has made that not happen. Maybe someone is sick. Maybe someone just, for whatever reason, needs to not have guests over. Maybe we don't have the financial ability to have guests over. It doesn't mean that we're going to be living it every single moment, every single day. But it means that even when we're living it, we have it as our goal in the back of our mind. We want a warm, open home. And so having those goals does not mean that every single day you're going to always be doing it. People go through really hard times. Families go through really hard times. A marriage can go through really hard times. Having the values does not mean that you are always 100% living them the way you ideally wish you could.